Freestyle, Repertory Theater, and Synergy Theater present Right Away. It's a show, it's a jam, it's the best of both worlds, and it's happening right now. Please welcome your host for the evening, Ken Adams. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 and welcome to Right Away. My name is Ken Adams, and I'm your host for the evening, and it is very delightful to be here with you. Tonight's show, Right Away, is a co-production between Freestyle Repertory Theater in New York City and Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California. Two companies divided by a continent, but united in the belief that improvisation is an important theatrical art form. We started presenting Right Away in May of 2020 out of a desire to keep creative people creating together in spite of the isolation and uncertainty of the pandemic. But now, as we have been back into real life for quite some time, we still do it. And that is because we just love sharing the inspiring world of creativity and spontaneity and getting to know more and more people who come together in this community in order to share their imagination with each other. We love it, and we appreciate you being here. Now, here's how the show works. We have a number of playwrights for you who will have 45 minutes to write a brand spanking new play, all based on your suggestions. While they're off writing, everyone in the audience, that's you, is invited to play some improv writing games with me, and I think you're going to want to use some paper and a pen or a pencil for this, so you can still see what's happening on your screen while you're writing. And after each exercise or game, we'll hear as many of us read what we wrote as we can. Now, I encourage you to volunteer without even considering if what you wrote is good or meets any of your expectations. It's simply fun to let your imagination spill out onto the page and then hear how many different directions everyone's writing goes. After 45 minutes, the playwrights will come back and present the world premiere reading of their new work. Now, before we introduce tonight's playwrights, we have just a few things to go over. For those of you who are participating live via Zoom, we ask that you keep yourself muted and your video off for now. In a few minutes, though, when we start the writing jam, we will invite you to turn your videos back on, and we would love it if you do. This show is streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, so when your video is on, you may be seen by more people than are right here with us now. So if you don't want that to happen, then go ahead and keep off. But if you have no shame in appearing in public, then by all means, please come on to the screen, participate in the jam with us, and let's have fun as we laugh and clap and give the thumbs up for each of our writings. Lastly, we invite you to open up the chat feature, which you'll find if you hover your cursor at the bottom center of your screen, as we will be using that to get suggestions and to inspire our playwrights. Now, speaking of those playwrights, let's meet them now. I would like to introduce our first playwright, who is currently writing with Monday Night Playground. Her play, Mac and Mimi Encounter Totality, will be produced in the Best of Playground Festival on the Potrero stage in San Francisco and streamed online. That play, as well as America Chavez' Particle Flyer, won the People's Choice Awards this season. Her most recent short play, Welcome to the Club, had a staged reading at Freight and Salvage in March. Lucy in the Clouds, a short play adapted from a play she wrote during a Right Away session, still remains a favorite. My friends, please welcome Lisa Thompson. Welcome to the screen, Lisa. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, Ken.
It is getting longer and longer, that bio of yours. You have been having so much success with your 10-minute plays. Tell everybody, what is the main approach that is different, other than the length, obviously, to writing a 10-minute play, which you have been specializing in, as to writing a longer work?
Well, I think it's just a matter of applying the right away principles, maybe with a little bit more forethought. But when I'm in the middle of it, I just try to follow every thread.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing how you follow your threads tonight and where they lead you. If you'll kindly follow Rusty off into our writer's green room, we will see you in just a few moments. And now let's meet our next playwright. Our next playwright is the creator of It Takes a Village and Psychotherapy, two web series you probably haven't seen. She also wrote Normal Noises, a collection of short plays performed at Group Rep in North Hollywood. She lives in Los Angeles with her very cute husband, Brian. Please welcome Clara Rodriguez.
Hi.
Hello, Clara. How are you?
Good. Thank you. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing very well. It's always a joy to have you on the show. Tell us a little bit about the whole world of writing for a web series. That's still relatively a new phenomenon. How is that developing and how are you enjoying it?
Well, I'm not doing it right now, if I'm going to be honest, but it's there are different kinds of web series, and mine tend to be it's not a continuation of a story. They're just each standalone episodes, which it's fun. Did that answer anything?
Yes, it absolutely did. It absolutely did. All right, I can't wait to. Oh, and Laura Livingston tells us it's very funny. I imagine it is because Clara is very funny. All right, Clara, if you would please follow Rusty off into our writer's green room, we are going to say hello to our next playwright. Our next playwright is a seasoned television writer, having worked on the staffs of That's So Raven, Suddenly Susan, and Half and Half, and has written over 20 produced television scripts. Jeff's recent web series, A Short Tutorial, screened at several film festivals last year and won Best Dramedy at the New Jersey Web Festival. He also written several short plays and an adaptation of A Christmas Carol for Half Moon Theater. And he's in his 7th year teaching screenwriting at Hofstra University. Please welcome Jeff Tarson.
Hi there.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very, very well. It's such an impressive bio. The thing I'm most intrigued about is your adaptation of A Christmas Carol. What changes did you make?
All nude. No. No, I actually, I looked at a lot of other adaptations because it's certainly not a show that lacks, it's not a original source material that lacks adaptations. So it was very interesting actually to sort of decide what I wanted to focus on. I read the original and then, and I did it with not that many people. I think that was something that I was looking to sort of combined roles and find how that worked. It was an interesting challenge, but I was happy with the overall result.
And does Scrooge remain unreformed at the end of your cynical take on the story?
Yeah, you know me. Me. Scrooge meets his untimely death at the end. That's the thing. That was the twist.
All right, my friend Jeff Tarson. I'm so glad you're here. Please follow Rusty off into our Writer's Green Room. Our next playwright is a member of Freestyle Repertory Theater. She is the co-creator of Freestyle's newest school show called Right Now. Right Away regular since the beginning in May of 2020, right here online with us. Her play To Go or Not to Go, which was produced in Australia a couple of months ago, is now available to watch on YouTube. Please welcome Laura Valpy.
Hello.
Hello, Laura. How are you?
Hi. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
It is awesome to see you and to have you here. Can you please tell what is that school show Right Now? How does that work?
Oh gosh, so much fun. And Laura Livingston, who's here, can also talk about it. But essentially, we are taking improvisation to the schools and focusing on the elements of story. So, of course, character and setting, but also the action, consequences, all that good stuff, putting it all together. And it's been fun. We've been doing it as a 3-person cast. And yeah, what else can I say?
You have
been
said
a
it all.
blast. Yeah.
And you have said it very well. All right. Well,
Thanks.
I can't wait
I just,
to see what you
we
have
get
learned.
mixed up with saying right now and right away and where am I writing?
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna go
All
right
right,
with
my friend,
Randy.
please follow Rusty off into
Rusty.
the green room, and we will see you soon. Our final playwright for the evening is the creator of the original Right Now, back when it was an in-person thing, before we started doing it online. She is a playwright, she is an actor, she is a stage director, and she is the artistic director of Freestyle Repertory Theater, the co-creator of this project, the co-producer of this project, one of the absolute innovators of the art form of improvisation, and the woman who I am always proud to mention has taught me every single thing I know about improvisation. Please welcome to the screen my friend Laura Livingston.
That was an awesome bio, Ken. Thanks for writing that for me. That was amazing. Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. Thank you. You, Laura Livingston, have, I really do feel like brought things to the art of improvisation long before a lot of people were doing it, and back before there was even an internet to brag about it. So take us back and tell us what was your inspiration for venturing into long form improvisation before that was really such a popular thing?
It was because we just kept coming up with things in short form that seemed like such great ideas to explore. And my training, of course, was theater. Back then, you didn't have people who were just trained as improvisers. And it just seemed like a great way to create theater. And I have to say that this kid, fresh out of college, came in with an idea called play-by-play is what we called it. And it's now How to Improvise a Full-Length Play by Ken Adams. So
that never would have happened had you not encouraged it and helped me develop it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's bring all of our other playwrights back onto the screen, please, because it is time for them to get suggestions to begin writing their play. Now, audience, this is where you're going to need to put your chat screen on, because we are going to ask you to provide suggestions via chat. So each of our playwrights is going to ask you for a suggestion that will inspire their play. That will be the first of several suggestions they'll get. The rest are going to come from you later. Let's go in the order in which I introduced people, which I will perhaps recreate as I am calling your name out, but I'll try my best. I think it all started with Lisa Gay Thompson. Lisa, can you please ask the audience for a suggestion?
Well, I would like, first of all, a location, and secondly, a gesture.
A location and a gesture. All right, my friends, please type into your chat screen a location and or a gesture. And Lisa will read some out as they're flying past her as she's figuring
Yeah,
out which
so
ones
I've
we're
got
going to go with.
Syria, ooh, a wave, tide pool, Trenton, a rooftop and a dive, Oxford and a clap, a thumbs up, and a basement. Ooh, oh, yeah, I'm somehow drawn to the basement and the tide pool, and a thumbs up.
All right, basement, tide pool, and thumbs up. All right, Clara Rodriguez.
Yeah, hi. Could I please have a first line of dialogue?
All right, everybody, please type into your chat screen a first line of dialogue. And Clara, if you read them out as they fly
Oh,
past,
yes.
we'll all get to giggle.
Not this time, honey. Madam, here is your dog. I forgot how I felt.
Hmm.
You're not from around here, are you? Yes, that's it. I'm gonna
All
go
right.
with somewhere someone is thinking this. I like that
All right.
one.
Awesome.
I'm gonna,
Somewhere.
yeah, I'll take that. Somewhere someone is thinking this.
Okay, you got it. Jeff Tarson.
Hi, yes, I would like an emotion and an object.
An
Emotion
emotion
and an
and
object.
object.
Yes.
Suddenly it's the thing for like everyone to ask for two
I know,
suggestions. We have upped our game.
That's
All
4
right.
years in, right?
Or it's
We have joy and hammer, sorrow, joy and popsicle, sad and toaster, rock. I'm gonna go with sad and toaster. I like that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura Valpy.
Oh, geez, I was just gonna ask for one thing. Oh man. Oh, maybe I'll just have to take some other things too. Um, this is something I haven't asked for a while. What is a piece of advice that
Ooh,
that you have received or given? How about received that has stuck with you? A piece of advice.
all right.
Never go over the water. Go over the water. Always wear clean underwear. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a moment to see if sometimes them, many words. Eat your peas, eat your peas, eat your peas. I don't know. Be happy. Oh, be happy.
Oh,
Should I take them
all
all?
right. Tick
Okay.
tock, Laura Valpy,
I'm
tick
gonna
tock.
be ready to say no. Uh, this is the time. Now I just feel like this is a lesson for life everywhere. I'm gonna go with never go over the water.
All
Although I
right.
please all. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
And Laura Livingston.
Even before this trend came up, I was going to ask for two things, but they are the same thing. I would like two different characters.
All right. Will people kindly populate your chat screen with two different characters?
Everyone's exhausted now. Oh, no, here they come.
Bert and Ernie, there you go.
Bert and Ernie, there we go. A clown and a tragedian, a commandant and an ant. I love how everybody's giving me two. Yeah. Um, all right. Let me see here. I'm gonna go for a clown. Oh, here comes another one. Sibelius and Mozart. It writes itself. I'm gonna go for a clown and a commandant.
All right. Can we please start at the beginning and remind the audience very quickly of your suggestions, and then we're going to send you off to start writing. Lisa Gay Thompson.
My suggestions are a basement, a tide pool, and a thumbs up.
Clara Rodriguez.
My first line of dialogue is somewhere someone is thinking this.
Jeff Tarson.
My suggestions were sad and toaster.
Laura Valpy.
Never go over the water.
And Laura Livingston.
Clown and a commandant.
All right. In about 3 seconds, we're going to send you away to start writing. Remember, everything you write is right. Have fun. We'll see you in 45 minutes. Get ready. Get set. Right away. All right, my friends who are here for the jam, it is now our turn to be creative. So I now invite everybody to turn your video screen on. Hello, Alex Rowe. I knew you would because I love you. And I'm hoping some other people will. Karen Harrell, all right. Welcome aboard. And I hope our other participants will turn their video screens on as well. In the meantime, we are going to get started and we're going to have some fun tonight. Hello, Ray Valpy, and who is in the pouch? Yes. Well, would you mind turning? Everybody, if you wouldn't mind turning your microphones on.
That's right. You didn't.
Hello, folks. What is the dog's name?
That's Clover.
Oh, well, hello, Clover. It's very, very nice to see you. And hello, everybody. And Janella, I know you're out there, so
Yes.
please remind me that you would like to read when the time comes. So I hope everybody will read. So I thought tonight we would have some fun. The next improvised show that Synergy Theater is going to do is an improvised soap opera. So I've been thinking about soap operas lately, and I thought tonight it would be kind of fun to create some spontaneous writing exercises around the genre of a soap opera. So that's what we're going to do tonight, and we're going to have some fun doing it. First and foremost, of course, everything that we write tonight is just an experiment in letting your imagination run wild. There's no correct, there's no good or bad. There's just this concept of trying to take off the filter and allow your spontaneity to flow out of you in a stream of consciousness kind of way. So the first couple of exercises we're going to do are going to be this type of stream of consciousness expression, just in order to get into the practice of doing that, right? So I hope everybody has some paper, and I hope everybody has a pen, and we're going to get started. The first exercise is going to be a finish the line dialogue. So I'm going to say the first half of a line of dialogue, and you're going to immediately, without thinking, finish the line of dialogue. You don't have to write what I say, just write down the rest of what this character says. And we'll have 3 of these, and then we'll go around and we'll read them. I'll say the first half and you read the second half. And just imagine that whatever soap opera means to you, this is a line of dialogue that would be found on a soap opera. Are you ready? Pens in hand. Here we go. Line number 1. Richard, I thought you just finished that sentence. Richard, I thought you. All right. Second line. Clarice, you mustn't. Last line of dialogue. Here we go. Dr. Withers, how is it possible that...
Say it again.
Dr. Withers, how is it possible that... All right. Now, since we're all friends here, I'm just going to force you to participate. So you can tell on me if you want to, but I'm just going to do that. And Alex, I'm going to force you to go first. I'm going to read the first half of the sentences. Alex, you please read the way you completed the sentences. All right, are you ready?
Necessarily in order, or can I swap them around?
Oh, well, you could say anything you want, because I'm not going to see your piece of paper.
That's true. I can just make it up.
So here we go. Richard, I thought you...
We're going to the movies.
Clarice, you mustn't.
Forget, I only take the tram.
Dr. Withers, how is it possible that...
Everyone came down at once.
Awesome job. See how easy it is? All right, Ray Valpy, I know you'll indulge me. You can just make it up if you didn't really write anything. Here we go. Richard, I thought you...
Were the pool boy.
Clarice, you mustn't.
Pull on it that way.
Dr. Withers, how is it that...
You were in 2 places at once.
Beautiful job. All right, Janella, are you with me?
Yes.
All right. Richard, I thought you...
Knew me better than that.
Clarice, you mustn't.
Take your clothes off now.
Dr. Withers, how is it that...
I'm pregnant if I never have sex.
I think I've seen that soap opera. Awesome job. All right, Karen Harrell, are you ready?
Yes.
Richard, I thought you...
We're dead.
Clarice, you mustn't.
Go to Daniel's house. He's a player.
Dr. Withers, how is it that...
Morgan survived the plane crash.
Excellent job. Excellent job. All right, my friends, we're just going to move on. The whole idea is just stream of consciousness writing, stream of consciousness writing. So we're going to now do a soap opera monologue. And again, genre aside, it doesn't matter if you don't know anything about soap operas. The only thing we're trying to do is to write freely without stopping and let one thought inspire the next and accept that idea and write it down without thinking or editing or rewriting or anything like that. So here's how we're going to set this up. I'm going to ask you to write a monologue for a character in a soap opera. in the first person. So I went to, right, first person monologue. And here's what's going to happen. This character has had amnesia ever since they went away to Bermuda 4 years ago. Suddenly, their memory comes back. And they're going to burst out into a spontaneous monologue about everything that happened to them from the time they lost their memory in Bermuda all the way up until now, when their memory came back. I'm going to give you the first line of the monologue, and then you're just going to write, and we'll give yourself some nice time to do this. So this won't be like a hurry up, you only have 10 seconds thing, but we don't want to make it a thoughtful exercise either. We want to make it as if your memories are flooding back one at a time, and you're writing them as they come flooding back to you.
How long do you
All
think
right.
we'll have? How long will we have about?
3, 4, 5 minutes. We'll see how much.
Okay.
I'll look at the faces on screen and see if they're having fun or yeah, but do feel free to sink into it. A good 4 or 5 minutes, let's say. All right, here we go. So I'm going to give you the first sentence. Do go ahead and write that first sentence and then just keep writing. All right, here we go. Oh God, oh God, I remember everything now. Oh God, oh God, I remember everything now. All right, we're not done, but it occurred to me we have to give our first suggestion to the writers backstage. So I will ask everybody to just pause for one moment. And how about this for the suggestion that we'll give back to the writers? Everybody just read to me the last sentence you wrote in your story, and we'll put something together from that. Alex Rowe, what was the last sentence you just wrote in your story?
We're so busy with our.
Say it one more time, please.
We're so busy with our.
We're so
It's an
busy
incomplete
with.
sentence.
Good. Okay. Ray Valpy, can you read one of your sentences?
Well, my latest, I misspelled it, but I typed it in there already. I was only an undergraduate.
Okay, so we'll combine those two and we'll say we'll throw them a line of dialogue, and it is, we have been so busy with our undergraduate, and let them make what they can of that. So everybody, I'm going to send that suggestion back to them. Everybody, please go back to writing your stories, your monologues.
Ooh.
And let's say we'll write for another 2 minutes here in the jam. One more minute of writing for us. All right, finish whatever sentence you're in the middle of. It doesn't matter if you've accounted for all 3 years of the amnesia. And shake out your hands. Excellent job. Let's see. I will share with you that I wrote one myself, so I will be happy to be a reading participant today as well. So I'll put my money where my mouth is. Karen Harrell, will you kindly favor us by reading yours first?
Sure, no problem. Oh God, I remember everything. Dominic, my no good brother, tied me up to the pier in Bermuda, just as the Dominic was always so jealous of me and my success with the perfume business. Just as the tide was rising, the water kept getting closer and closer to my mouth. As I was totally submerged, I heard a far off voice. It was your voice. You're the one who saved me. I came to in a bus station in Poughkeepsie. I started working at the local Starbucks and building a life from nothing. But I am something. I'm Carmen Leslie Donovan III, and I'm the rightful heir.
Awesome job. Awesome job. Janella, will you please?
Okay. Oh God, I remember everything now. He wouldn't stop eating. He wouldn't stop flirting and bragging. He laughed when I became so repelled I froze and couldn't talk. He was dumb as rain, but he tried to quote Socrates as he pulled his socks off. He said he'd be president someday. I blacked out at that point, but after seeing him on TV, I became nauseously conscious. I can't write anymore. I'm rendered speechless. The end.
So your character was just bored by her date into amnesia? Is that what happened?
Just bored by an ass who became president. I wonder who it was.
I don't know, but this is pure fiction, of course. All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
excellent, excellent job. Thank you so much. Ray Valby, will you please?
The last thing that was clear to me was the approach of that shark fin, and everybody's screaming. In fact, the entire dockside bar cleared out. It was a horrific day, but I still don't understand how I could be here now, halfway around the world in Antarctica at this research station. I was only an undergraduate hoping to get into the doctorate program, and here I am now mentoring undergraduate marine biology students who love sharks and whales and penguins and seals. Oh, it's coming back to me now. It was so painful as the bandages were torn off and I had to face the reality of living without my left arm. ...
Awesome job. You know, that's funny because I had forgotten that we got the undergraduate word from your writing, and I thought like, oh wow, he worked that in. He worked that in. That was brilliant.
Well, that was the sentence I was on when you said,
Yes, yeah.
tell us your last sentence.
Excellent job. Alex Rowe.
I just want to give a shout out to Carmen Leslie Donovan, which is maybe my favorite name in a work of fiction or fact. Oh God, oh God, I remember now. Everything now. You thought I wouldn't have noticed the cap, the cap on the, what's it called? Gas tank. But I did. I noticed, and just before we got to the top of the ravine, I saw it was loose. What could that have done? I didn't know. I was so certain that the two of you were, but I didn't want to know. I wanted to believe you, Rex. I wanted to. It seems silly now, with Claire gone, with your father having disowned you, with the movie deals. Of course, I know. I was here all the time. You know, it's amazing how much we take in, but we don't know it. We're so busy with our plans and our hopes and our, oh my God, our feelings. We don't notice everything we observe. So yes, I remember the emu fawn and Claire's affair with the Caballero. I remember how you got a gun license. I even saw the application, though. I couldn't make sense of it somehow. I remember how Johnny pleaded with you. I even remember how angry you got, but I also remember how you couldn't do it. And how you cried, Rex. I saw you. I know you'd never bear it if anyone knew. And somehow, over these 4 years, I've even grown. I know how much of what we always dreamt of was empty and less important than having it. Rex.
Uh-oh.
Couldn't put the gun down, Rex. Is frozen. I don't know if how much of that was heard.
Yes, well, we heard the gun part again. So, what happened at the end? Did he shoot you?
No, we were cut off at that moment. I think that's when we cut to a commercial for Bear or something.
That was so voluminous. You wrote so much. That was very impressive. Yes, Alex, you are freezing. Yeah, so I hope I am not. It's not me, right? Am I still moving? All
Yes.
right. Alex, you are freezing a little bit, but thank you for that. That was really impressive and really wonderful. I'll tell you what, we have only 20 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes left. So we'll let the writers go on for just another minute or two. I'll read mine and then we can give them another suggestion. So I wrote, oh God, I remember everything now. I was underneath a tree when a brick dropped from the bough and knocked me unconscious. I awoke in a strange room and my beard was at least 3 weeks old. Where was I? The room was decorated as if it were a Victorian study, a large brown globe in the center, surrounded by those red velvet ropes they use to form lines in movie theaters. Thick, rich, padded furniture, and then the walls, lined with books and books in their brown mahogany shelves. A door opened and a man came in. He adopted me and raised me as his child for 3 years. I finally ran away and somehow ended up here. Then today, when I heard that cuckoo clock, it all came rushing back. All right, now, my friends, we have to give them another suggestion. So we gave them a line of dialogue. How about if we give them something that happens to the environment we're in? So let's do the good old-fashioned drop it into the chat. Think of something that might happen to the environment they're in, and we'll give that as a suggestion to our writers. The room shakes. That's the way to do it. A butterfly lands on a character's nose. The cloud turns purple. All right, beautiful job. I'm going to take the butterfly one, if you don't mind, because that's kind of fun and poetic, and it'll give them something very unexpected. So 5, 10, 15, 20. They have 23 minutes left. I'm letting them know they have 23 minutes remaining. And stage direction. A butterfly lands on a character's nose. All right, boom, they're off and running. All right. So here is what we've been warming up for. Alex has, I hope Alex is still there. Maybe he went off in order to try to fix up his internet connection a little bit, but I see his little camera and microphone still there. So that leads me to believe he hasn't signed off. Alex is back. All right. Oh, no. He's a man of mystery. All right. Well, I'm going to set this up.
I'm making dinner, so I'm running back and forth.
Okay. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Of course I can hear you.
Oh, you're very sweet. All right. So here's what we're going to do. And this will probably be the main event, the main writing event. By the time we write this and read them, we'll probably be almost out of time. And we'll take a break in the middle of it in order to give them another suggestion or two. But here's what we're going to do. We are going to write a spontaneous story. And we are going to write it in a soap opera because it's going to work like this. I'm going to give you an opening line of a story. You're going to start writing. That's going to be story A. I'll let you write story A for a little while, write spontaneously and as freely as possible. Then we're going to stop and we're going to start story B. I'm going to give you a new line of opening line, and you're going to just leave story A where it is, and right under it, you're going to start writing story B. It will be helpful to write A over it and B over the next one. Then you'll write that for a while. Then we're going to start story C. Then, as you're writing, I'm going to keep switching back. I'll call B. You'll stop whatever you're writing and write the letter B, and then see where B left off, and then continue story B. And then I might say A. So you'll stop writing story B, you'll go see where you left story A, and you'll continue writing story A. So your paper will look like A, she was walking through the kitchen. B, Tony was flying the airplane. C, the ditch was 7 feet deep. So 3 different stories, right? And then, and I'll re-explain this as we go on. So don't worry if you're confused. It'll make sense as we go on. You're just going to keep picking up a story that was left off a little while ago and continuing that story. And then you're going to interrupt that, pick up another story, and continue that story. Right?
Interesting.
Yes. All right. I don't know if I think I won't be able to do this one myself, just because I'm going to be moderating it and trying to keep time of the suggestions. So I think it's on the 4 of you to to do this. All right. Here we go. So here's how I recommend you start. Write a big letter A at the top of your page and circle it. We're going to start story A. And I'm going to give you an opening line, and then you're going to write for a little bit of time, okay? Again, it's not like there's pressure, write quickly, but the experiment is to write without thinking and let it flow as spontaneously as you can. So here we go. The first story starts with this line, and then you copy it and then continue on. She held the glass in her shaking hand. She held the glass in her shaking hand. All right, now stop writing that story, skip a line, write a big letter B, and you're going to start a brand new story. Has nothing to do with story A at all, a brand new story. And the new starting line for the new story B is, they heard the dogs barking from deep in the woods. They heard the dogs barking from deep in the woods. And now just write that story. All right, stop writing that story. Skip a line, write a big letter C, and now forget about those two stories for a minute and start a brand new story. And it starts with this line: Ellen had never intended to study the law. Ellen had never intended to study the law. All right, pause, please. I just let the writers know they have 12 minutes remaining. We need to send them back a fast suggestion. Somebody shout out your favorite color.
Purple. Or
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse. I'm going to write the color chartreuse becomes important. All right, now stop writing story C, skip a line, write a big letter B, and continue your story B. Pause, please. Skip a line, write a big letter A, and continue your story A. Pause, write a big letter C, and continue your story C. And pause. Now write a big letter A and bring story A to an end. Bring story A to an end.
Which one is this one?
You're bringing
Which one?
story A, bring story A to an end. These endings will have to come quickly. Abrupt
Got it.
endings. And pause, write a big letter B and bring story B to an end. Pause and finally bring story C to an end. Fifteen more seconds to bring story C to an end. And everybody stop writing or finish up. I'm giving them 6 minutes remaining. And you can keep writing if you want as you're finishing up, but somebody tell me your favorite food.
Lasagna.
Lasagna, thank you.
Not even true.
I'm giving them a character brings out a lasagna.
Oh, okay.
All right, we only have 5 minutes left. Who will read for us? I'll go back to the volunteer method just so that the people who really want to read can be sure to have time to read. Of course, if no one volunteers.
Well, I'll volunteer.
Please go, Janella.
Okay, I'm doing A. She
You're
held
gonna
the-
read. You're gonna read everything, and just take out
Oh
the
my
letters
God.
now. Just read all of the words.
Okay, I'm gonna read A first, right?
No, we want to hear it in the sequence, unless you read however you want to
Okay.
present it to us. Go ahead.
She held the glass in her shaking hand. She cried so much the night before, so deeply, nonstop 8 hours, so deeply painful. She fell asleep, and upon awakening, her left hand wouldn't stop shaking. It went on for days. She finally saw a doctor. The cause? The sorrow had burned out the serotonin and the dopamine in her brain. She burned out the feel good. Where's the next say? How would it be possible to get the dopamine and the serotonin restored? It wouldn't. She'd have to have the shakes and try to find things to smile about for the rest of her life. That was A. B. They heard the dog bark from deep in the woods. They were concerned. Should they run to it or get again back at a gun back at the house. They grabbed a branch and ran toward the barking. It was nonstop. After walking deep into the woods, 20 minutes, there was the dog barking into a hole in the ground. They carefully approached the hole and looked down. Where's the recipe? They looked down, and what was hiding out down there? A bunch of angels. See, did she, sorry if it's boring.
No, no, it's fascinating. Please go.
Ellen had never intended to study the law. Is that where it started? What was your first line? Yes?
That was it. That was it.
Ellen had never intended to study the law. She was immersed in the arts, but she now had a boyfriend who was a federal prosecutor, and he told her, Ellen, I know you're nicer than I am, and I'm not sure, but I think you're smarter than I am. Woo! She suspected as much. Did she want to stay with a boyfriend who was not as nice and who was dumber? Nope. Solitude. Whew. Well, maybe she'll win the lottery. And that's it. Weird. What an exercise.
That was amazing.
And it
Here's
was
the
all
deal, folks.
true. It was all
I
true.
know, I know. Here's the deal. We just have 2 minutes left. We can read one more, and I'll have them come in as you're reading, and that's fine. The other, since it's just a cozy handful of us who are kind of friendly, if you don't get to read now, will you please stay after? We always do that talk back. We never have anything to say. So why don't we use the talk back, and we can hear the other two, and I'm sure the writers would really enjoy that as well. So who would like to read now as we start to bring the writers back?
Well, I'll admit I'm intrigued by a format I think you were suggesting, and that was just to go ahead and read it sequentially
Go ahead.
without
Will
even
you do it?
using A, B, C, D, and
Go
then
ahead, Ray.
try to put it together. Okay, here we go.
Go ahead.
She held the glass in her shaking hand. If it had been full to the top, liquid mercury would now be flowing across the lab floor. She was lucky that Professor Ingersoll had stepped out, and she still had a chance to carefully titrate the test solution without leaving a toxic mess. Frank, who had a crush, they heard the dogs barking from deep in the woods. Eugene had brought his hounds dozens of times to these woods, hunting for coons, so he hadn't been too concerned at first, but when the trees seemed to loom, Ellen had never intended to study the law, but now that she was destined to spend at least the next 8 years behind bars, what else was logical for her to do? Her own lawyer hadn't even believed her story, so how else was she going to plead her case? Larger, darker, and more menacing than before, he began to suspect that he had entered some sort of Twilight Zone type distortion of space-time, and he half expected on her, since they were both in high school, figured he could score some points. The prison food was pretty bad, and the time allowed in the prison yard was limited. By coming to her rescue, finally, as she slipped on the mess, their eyes met. Little Red Riding Hood. But she had hours available in the library. At least she could still have some purpose to her life.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Well, now I don't have to ask them to come back silently. Okay, Karen and Alex, I'm going to beg you to please read during the talk back so we can hear those other two. Wonderful, wonderful work, Janella, and wonderful, wonderful work, Ray. So funny, both of yours. All right, my friends, I'm bringing our writers back. I'm bringing our writers back. Come back, come back.
Yeah, so please.
Everybody come back. Everybody come back. Everybody come back. All right, my friends. Welcome back, everybody. Is everybody back? Is everybody back? Laura Livingston. All right, I see 1, 2, Laura Valpy, Clara Rodriguez is here. Folks, that was an awesome jam. So the writers know we did something pretty fun. Two of the people in the jam did not yet get to read, but I really want to hear what they wrote. So I've invited them to read during our talk back. So with your permission, I'll give them the first 5 minutes or so of our talk back in order to read their work. Hopefully Laura Valpy knows that we're back. Valpy. Ah, there we go. In the meantime, everybody, you might take a look over at your chat window, and I put the websites of Freestyle Repertory Theater and Synergy Theater. If you want to pop onto our websites and check out what we're doing, that would be awesome. If you want to make a donation to our companies in order to help doing this kind of thing, we would appreciate that very much. Also, we have a Facebook group called Right Away Afterwards, which is just for you, just for the Right Away insiders, people like you who are here tonight. Join that Facebook group, and we can continue our conversation about art, spontaneous writing, and the world at large. We can share writings there if we want to. So it's a nice, fun community that's growing. Please go ahead and join our Facebook group. All right, my friends, guess what? It is time for our writers to now cast their plays and to get ready to prepare and present the world debut of their brand new plays. So folks in our audience, we're going to take a 10-minute intermission. And during that time, go do whatever you like to do. But please come back. Please come back in 10 minutes, and we will share our plays with you. If you want to just hang out here with your cameras off and your microphones off and just watch the chaos as we put our world together, you're welcome to do that. So go ahead, take a 10-minute intermission. We will see you then. Thank you very much. All right, we're not really off. We're really just right here. We'll have our audience back in 10 minutes. All right, my friends, take it away. Let's see, in the order, if I can remember that order. Well, how did we do it? I think Lisa Gay Thompson was first. And you're on mute, Lisa.
I did write a play.
Yay.
I see it
Are we ready
right-
to cast it, or do we need a little bit of time?
Give me a moment, please. Yeah.
All right, why don't we take a minute to just start emailing them all around? And go
Okay.
ahead, everybody. Take care of your emailing, and then just give me a finger if you're ready to cast.
Your finger.
Laura Livingston, are you ready to cast? All right, take it away, Laura Livingston. Oh, you're on mute.
Okay. Clara, would you read character 1, and Jeff, would you read character 2? So Clara, you're the clown, and Jeff, you're the commandant. I'm having trouble.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. Lisa Gay Thompson.
Oh, yes. Yes, I would like 4 actors, please. Jeff, will you play the starfish? And Clara, the anemone. And
I never know how to say that.
Hmm?
I never know how to say an enemy.
Yeah,
You never
well,
have to say your own character's name.
Thank God.
her name's Annie. It's okay. Ken, will you play Jordan? And
Yes.
Laura Livingston, will you play Veronica?
Thank you very much. Who else we got? Clara, are you ready to cast?
Yeah. Could I, let's see, I wrote it down. For Ginger, could you please read Ginger? And Jeff, could you please read Snappy? I'm a little hungry. And then Ken, could you read Leader?
Leader, yes.
Leader.
Is that like the word, or is that like the German spelling? Leader.
Leader. It is a word.
Yes, yes, it is. Thank you. Okay, Jeff, are you ready?
Yes. There's 2 characters in my play, and so Clara, could you read Carla? That seems like get fitting, doesn't it? And Laura, could you read Laura Livingston? Could you read Helen?
Very well. And let's see, where haven't we been? Valpy?
Okay, great. I need everybody. Um, first, Sylvia and Chad are the first two characters. Clara, will you read Sylvia, please?
Yes.
And Jeff, will you please read Chad? And then we've got Old Man Mike, who in my head is Mike Durkin, played by Mike Durkin. So Ken Adams, will you please play your best Old Man Mike?
Those are big shoes to fill, but I will try.
And then I have a park ranger, the first park ranger who comes in. Lisa, will you be the first park ranger? And then there's another park ranger who just comes in at the very end. Miss Livingston, would you please play the next park ranger?
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
I have
Did we
two
get
things
everybody
today.
now, or did I leave somebody out? Is that
don't
everybody? Okay. Can I just do a personal check here? Here's who I think I'm doing. I think in Lisa Gay Thompson's play, I'm reading Jordan. In Clara's play, I'm reading Leader, and in Valpy's play, I'm reading Old Man Mike. Is that correct?
I think so.
And I'm not okay. Perfect.
Let's
All right.
can we do an overall check? I'd love that.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm
Go
just trying to
ahead.
figure everything out, and I haven't even sent my play out. So I have
Yeah.
down that in Laura's play, I'm playing character number 2. In Lisa's play, I'm playing Starfish. In Clara's play, I'm playing Snappy. And in Valpy's play, I'm playing Chad. Does that sound right? Okay, thank you.
I'll go. I believe I'm playing Ginger in Clara's play. I think that's it tonight.
Well, I'm playing the first park ranger in Valpy's play.
All
Nice.
right.
Okay. Let's
Um,
Okay,
email.
so now I gotta send these out.
In Laura's play, I'm playing number 1. In Lisa's play, I'm playing Anemone. In Jeff's play, I'm playing Carla. And in Valpy's play, I'm playing Sylvia. Is that too much? Does somebody want to do one of mine? Is that
You go.
much of me? Too much?
all right. We have 4.5 minutes left, so we can take a quick break, and everybody, please send out those emails.
I sent mine.
All
I
right.
believe
Did
I've
people
sent
get 'em?
mine.
I'm gonna go
I
to
haven't
bed.
really been checking, so I don't know.
I'll be right back.
Huh?
Yep, I've got yours, Clara.
Yeah, they all seem to have come through. Did you get Valpy's play, Laura?
Last time I looked, it hadn't come in yet. Oh, wait.
It just sent it to, it was like
Okay, perfect.
uploading, do. So
Oh,
got
I
it?
just got it.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go get a beverage. Be right back.
So, if anybody's there listening to me,
I'm here.
Mike and his sister included me on a text chain during this, right? So,
Oh no.
That's horrible.
and last week I was in the car driving down from the Catskills when you all included me on the text chain, which I appreciated because then I did the exercise.
Sorry. By Laura Valpy. Okay, very good. All right, 2 minutes, my friends. 2 minutes. That's It's a fun and exhilarating challenge, Laura Livingston, hosting one of these solo and going back and forth between the jam and the suggestions and everything. There's some joy to be had there.
I could have updated the well, you actually did. You cut out a lot of the explanation of how Zoom works because everyone
Well,
there.
it's all, everybody clearly who is in the jam clearly knows that now.
Yeah. I think I've got everybody's open here, but it's going to take me a while. I'm the worst at finding things on my computer. Like Zoom right now. Where is that?
All right, 1 minute, everybody. 1 minute.
I've been reading this the letters of Noel Coward because Mike found them out in the lobby. Somebody was obviously fed up with theater and threw it out all their theater books. And he's hilarious. But there's this thing that he wrote that I just wanted to say on screen tonight, so I'll say it now. He was saying why he moved out of England and went to Jamaica. He said that he wanted to be where I can really get on with my primary job, which is, he's 57 years old, I should say that, 5'7". He says, he wanted to move where he could really get on with my primary job, which is to become a better and better writer and a more tolerant and compassionate human being. And then he says, and I do not, I hasten to add, intend to give up being witty as all fuck and pretty as a picture.
It's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
I want to write like
Wow.
that. All right, 30 seconds, everybody. We're going to kick this off in 30 seconds. We'll be going in this order, which I think is correct. Lisa, Clara, Jeff, Valpy, and Livingston.
I haven't read any of these. People are prepared, I know.
All right, everybody, come on back. We're going to get started with our reading. I think I see all of our playwrights audience. I hope you're out there. Hello, Alex. At this point, my friends, we are going to ask our audience to grab their refreshments and join us back in the theater. We'll ask you to please keep your cameras off and your microphones off at this part. As you are gathering, let me take this time to remind you about our Facebook page right away afterwards. It's for people who've been part of the Right Away performance and would like to continue our conversation. I put the link in the chat. Go ahead and join us in there. If you want to watch the plays and you don't want to see all of our little names and boxes, then what you got to do is you have to click on Hide Non-Video Participants, which you can do by moving your cursor to the lower left, clicking on the video option, scrolling down, and clicking on Hide Non-Video Participants. That won't affect what the rest of us see. At the end of each reading, hop on and give our playwrights a round of applause. That's always very nice. All right, let us review the suggestions that all of our playwrights used in common, and there were 4 of them. The first was a line of dialogue. We have been so busy with our undergraduate. We have been so busy with our undergraduate. The second was a stage direction. A butterfly lands on a character's nose. The third was another stage direction or of sorts. The color chartreuse becomes important. I guess that was just a command. It wasn't any part of the theater vernacular at all. The color chartreuse becomes important. And finally, final suggestion, a character brings out a lasagna. So we will have fun looking for how you work those into your plays. And without further ado, Lisa Gay Thompson, please take it away.
All right. Well, my suggestions were a tide pool, a basement, and thumbs up. And that determined the ending. So that was good. And we are going to begin with Starfish and an Enemy on stage. And welcome, Stay tuned for the world premiere of Ebb and Flow, Will He Go?
Remember that thing I said last year? Remember that bon mot that went in one ear? I forgot how I felt on that occasion. I forgot what happened, what motivation.
Well, you told me my words were more than enough to create a romance that wasn't just fluff.
I said that, I know, but no longer feel it. I'm drifting and only feel a little bit.
So what we had has run its course? Do you have eyes on that seahorse?
That seahorse has a name. It's Nickety New. I ask that you say his name with respect. I do.
What do you see in him, darling? He never seems to stop moving up and down in that one spot. How boring.
He's noble and egalitarian, carrying children for another, a real humanitarian.
But back to those things you told me, which I took to heart, you see.
That's life in the tide pool, baby. Things ebb and flow, like come and go, maybe.
I'm closing now. Caught a small particle. We'll take this up after I ferment it like a pickle.
We've been so busy with our undergraduate. We're drifting from being compassionate.
Things ebb and flow like come and go, maybe. Like life in this here tide pool.
Doesn't it seem that the pink anemone is talking to that starfish, so slowly walking?
He's walking away, I'd swear, as fast as he can somewhere.
Hard to get away when you move so slow. You want to go.
He's like every guy, wants his freedom. She's nagging him, wants her in her arboretum.
The tide pool's the scenery for our breakup. This is the moment of my wake up.
Let's take a lesson from the animals of the sea. When something stops working, let's let it be.
Anemone opens up like a flower. A pickled particle floats from her mouth and lands in front of Starfish, who gulps it down.
A final gift, starry one, to you whom I've always called Hun.
Oh, Annie, a gift so seldom I've seen. When we were young, they were often, I glean.
Starry, you're right. At some point I stopped. Remember how our eyes used to pop?
Annie, me too. I stopped trying. But time, Annie, it doesn't stop flying.
We can't turn back time,
Not on a dime.
but maybe we could try.
I don't know.
Jordan, a butterfly landed on your nose. Is it an omen or just a pretty pose?
Monarch it is, endangered and rare. And look, it's just landed in your hair.
She's flitting to and fro like the tides below us in their flow.
As above, so below, like the rooftop and the basement below.
I wish this butterfly would presage another passage, another stage, instead of the end.
My studies have me reeling. I forget how I am feeling.
I know my heart. I don't wish from you to part.
I don't know.
Oh, hello, little octopus. Going by, your chartreuse ink flooding my mind's eye.
Chartreuse brings out the pink in your tentacles and makes me want to eat my vegetables.
So, what do you think?
Darling, I think we should try.
Look, the inky chartreuse of the pool of tide. It gives me goosebumps up my sides.
You know how I feel about your goosebumps. Hold on, I need to adjust my swim trunks.
Does that mean?
I think we should try.
My, oh my.
I remember how I felt the day that I knelt
Swoon, June, moon.
Forevermore, my Annie.
What about that seahorse?
Who?
Who indeed?
I packed a little lasagna. Let's share it with our friends in the banya.
The end.
I loved that.
Guys were great.
Oh, that was awesome and so much fun to read. It was like a symphony. Clara Rodriguez.
My suggestion was the first line of dialogue, and it was somewhere someone is thinking this. So that's what we're doing with, I think, Jeff, Valpy, and Ken. I'll read the directions. Setting, a forest. At rise, Ginger, a middle-aged woman, and Snappy, a middle-aged man, are sitting against a tree. They're disheveled and look tired and hungry. Oh, I need to. Sorry.
Somewhere, someone is thinking this. They're thinking, boy, I wish I'd been a chaperone at the Boy Scout Jamboree. Boy, that sure would have been fun. And I'm so sad that I didn't get to go.
There's a bug in my pants.
Boy, oh boy, am I sad that I'm home in my nice, warm, dry living room, watching The Bachelor and eating this delicious taco instead of being out in the wild with the Boy Scouts.
I think it crawled up through the leg hole, and now it's up near my thigh.
People are idiots.
It's getting closer to my crotch now. I hope it doesn't bite anything.
Well, take it out.
How do I do that? I'm not going to take my pants off, if that's what you mean.
It's not like I care. Do you think I want to see you without your pants on? Is that what you think?
I have a fiance.
Yeah, I know. You've mentioned it once or twice.
She wouldn't like it if I...
This hour. You've mentioned it once or twice. This hour. We all know about your fiance.
She's not exactly the jealous type, but I respect her
And
and...
blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know. Okay, you want to try starting a fire again?
We tried that. Everything's too wet.
Well, you were supposed to be the guy, for God's sake. Don't you know how to start a fire with wet stuff?
No, they didn't teach me that in Boy Scout guide school because guess what? There is no Boy Scout guide school. I'm just a normal person like you. Well, not like you. I mean, my fiance always says that I'm more sensitive than other people.
Oh, God.
And also, we have been so busy with our undergraduate.
What? What undergraduate?
My fiance's son, he's an undergraduate.
Wait, how old is he?
He's 9.
And he's in college?
No, he's in 3rd grade. He hasn't graduated yet, so he's an undergraduate.
Well, that's not what that means.
After he graduates, then he'll be a graduate. Until then, he's an undergraduate.
That's not what that means. Okay, forget it. Help me with these rocks.
She gets up and starts collecting rocks.
What are you doing?
I have an idea. Grab some rocks, big ones.
Snappy grabs a small rock.
Big ones. We're going to write SOS with the rocks. Maybe some airplane will fly over and they'll see it and send us some help.
That seems unlikely.
You have a better idea.
Not really.
There's a big one over there. Go get that one.
Snappy struggles with a large rock and drops it on his foot.
Ow!
What did you do?
It fell on my foot.
Oh, for God's sake.
A butterfly lands on Snappy's nose.
Oh no. Shoo! Shoo! Get it away. Ah, help!
Snappy runs around, terrified of the butterfly.
What is wrong with you? It is just a butterfly.
It bit me.
Butterflies don't bite.
Bit me. It bit me hard.
Oh, for God's sake, calm down. The butterfly is gone now. Here. Sit down. Just sit. I'll finish with the rocks.
Snappy sits, and Ginger finishes up the SOS sign.
It really did bite me. I'm not a coward. I mean, I know I'm sensitive, but I'm not a coward.
Nobody said you were a coward.
I've done some dangerous things, brave things. I'm having a hard day.
And I'm not.
You don't understand. I offered to help out with the Boy Scouts because my fiance, well, she's not exactly my fiance anymore, and she said that I wasn't outdoorsy enough for her. So I just, wanted to.
Wait, let me back up. She's not your fiance?
Not exactly. I mean, not technically. She sort of broke up with me last week.
I'm sorry.
She gave me a list of things that are wrong with me.
Well, that's harsh.
And she was just trying to improve me. That's what she said. And I thought that if I could just do this outing with the Boy Scouts, that would maybe knock one of the items off her list. But I screwed it up.
No.
I did. I got us lost.
Well, that's true.
And then I dropped our backpacks off the ravine.
Yeah, you did do that.
And I broke the compass.
True, true.
I'm useless.
Well, I guess nobody's perfect.
They stare off into space for a while.
Hey, look at that tree trunk. The big tree right there.
Yeah?
Look at the chartreuse moss on the left side.
It's pretty.
No, that's not what I mean. That's the north side.
What?
Moss grows on the north side of trees.
It does? How do you know that?
I don't know. I must have heard it somewhere. So that means that south is that way. So we need to go east, which is that way.
Holy crap, you saved us.
A Boy Scout leader enters carrying a lasagna. Boy Scout leader?
Say that again?
I'm so sorry. It's been a long hike. There you are. We've been looking all over for you.
Oh my
Ginger and
God.
Snappy jump up and run to the leader.
Oh my God.
He found your backpacks and some rocks, so we figured you must be hungry. Do you want some lasagna?
Oh my God.
Do we ever? Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Help yourself. Actually, I got separated from the other Boy Scout leaders, and well, I'm not sure how to get back from camp.
Don't worry. Snappy knows the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
The end.
Yay.
Hey, so funny.
Well done.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I was
super
laughing so
awesome.
hard. All right, beautiful job. Jeff Tarson.
Okay. Hold on, let me move some things around on my desktop here. Okay, yes. All right. So this is my play, which I've entitled Midnight Snack. And to remind you, the suggestions that I got were sad, the emotion sad, and toaster. So, let me stop my video and I will read the directions. Here we go. A kitchen, it is late at night, pitch black. Carla, in her late 50s, enters and turns on the lights, revealing Helen, in her 50s, staring at the toaster.
Is Helen? Oh, sorry. Can we start again?
Yeah, let's start that one time. A kitchen, it's late at night, pitch black. Carla enters and turns on the lights, revealing Helen staring at the toaster.
Ah! What are you doing here?
Turn off the lights. For crimini's sake. I'm just getting toast.
You scared me. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Are you okay?
I'm fine. A woman can't have toast at 3 o'clock? What is there? Is there a curfew for eating in this house? Is the toaster solar powered or something?
No, of course not. You can have whatever you like, Helen. Of course, no, whatever you like, dear.
Good. I'd like some toast, dear.
Well, good.
I hope it'll be good. Jury's still out, but that's what I'm doing. Toast.
All right.
All right.
So, how are you holding up?
I want toast, not conversation.
Oh, sorry.
Did I say I want to talk while I have my toast? Some chatting with my stack? I don't believe I did. Helen, I don't believe I did.
Excuse me. I just haven't had a chance to talk to you much since we picked you up at the airport.
The toast pops up. Helen pushes it back down in the toaster without even looking at it.
Yep.
We've just been so busy with our undergraduate.
Is he home?
Ryan? No, I think he's still at the graduation party he ran off to.
Hmm.
Would you like some jelly?
Jelly? No. Jelly.
Look, Helen, I'm sorry if I've seemed a bit distant. It's just that with Ryan finishing school and getting ready for college, we've been running around and dealing with financial aid. And I don't know if you've heard, but the FAFSA forms were totally screwed up this year. So,
The toaster pops up again. Helen looks at it quickly, then pushes it back down again.
What's with this thing? Doesn't it work?
oh, sorry. Mickey doesn't like it to burn, so it's probably set at like 2.
Figures. He seems like a lightly toaster.
Okay, enough. What's wrong? Why are you so mad?
I'm not mad. I'm just waiting for toast. I'm impatient.
A butterfly lands on Helen's nose.
What the hell?
Oh, it's one of Ryan's butterflies. I'll get it.
She carefully cups her hands around the butterfly and lifts it off Helen's nose. It rests delicately in her hand as she sits down at the kitchen table.
Oh, hey, little guy. You're okay.
Wow, he's not flying away.
No. How about that? They're all over the house now. I'm so annoyed. Ryan got a whole bunch of them from school as an experiment. He wanted to see them, hatch, and here they all over the house now that he's.
Carla starts to cry quietly. Helen looks on, not quite knowing what to do. The toast pops up again. She plunges it back down again.
It's okay. I mean, you can maybe get someone to take them, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so sad. I mean, it's a good thing. It's just that I hope that, but Mom could have seen him today. She would have been
Proud.
proud. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
She were here.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm feeling. Not angry, but, sad.
Oh. I thought that you might be relieved since you two.
Well, yeah, maybe a little, but I mean, she was Mom. I mean, she'd come to dinner or a party in one of those chartreuse dresses she loved.
She loved that color.
God, every event, there she was in chartreuse, like she invented the color.
She said that woman who did her colors said, "That's your color."
That's your color. Yeah. Look, look, we don't always get along, but she knew how to celebrate accomplishments, and she loved her family. Ryan deserved to have her here today, and so did you. I'm sorry.
Carla and Helen hug. Helen tries to hide her tears.
Can't you stay a day or two?
No, I can't. I need to, you know,
No, I don't know what.
Toaster pops up.
get my toast.
She gets it from the toaster. Now it's totally burnt.
God damn it.
Oh, it's okay. I have lasagna.
Carla brings a lasagna out of the fridge.
Oh my God, look.
There's a butterfly perched on top of the lasagna. They carefully bring lasagna to the table. And lights.
Yay.
Mm,
That was sweet.
yeah.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Touching.
Oh,
That was gorgeous. Thank you so much for that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Beautifully read as well. Laura
Yeah.
Valpy.
oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay.
Yes, and please remind us of the suggestion that you took in order to kick it all off.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I asked for a piece of advice. I got never go over the water. So let's call it that. Never go over the water. I'll read the stage directions. We'll start with Jeff and Clara on stage playing Sylvia and Chad. All right, here we go. Sylvia and Chad enter wearing and carrying hiking gear, backpacks, boots, all the gear, but they are out of their element.
Wow. It is so gorgeous up here.
Okay, so the GPS says the trailhead is 20 yards this way. No, that way. Shoot, honey. I think the calibration is off in this thing.
No, honey, it's right here.
Are you sure? How do you know?
Well, there's a sign.
Oh, wow. Look at that view.
Yeah, told you, silly. And let's go.
You ready?
Ready. You ready?
Ready.
They peck a quick kiss.
Never go over the water.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you startled me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. I was so busy taking in this beautiful view.
Sylvia, sorry to disturb your peace and quiet, sir. We'll be on our way.
Never go over the water.
Sorry?
Never go. Oh, come on now. Clean out your ears for crap's sake. Do I have to keep repeating myself?
Honey, he said, never go over.
The water, yeah, I heard him. I'm just wondering why the warning? What? Is something wrong with that bridge? Google didn't say the bridge was out. The reviews of this trail are all 4 and 5 stars.
We've been so busy with our undergraduate. Our son goes to Oxford, you see, and he was just home on spring break, which was nice, really. I mean, we love our son, obviously. It's just that we've kind of, sort of, well,
Gotten used to him being away. It's been
nice, quiet.
exactly.
But this week that he's been home, oh my goodness, it's like a monster was let loose in our house, wreaking havoc everywhere.
And well, we finally dropped him off the airport this morning and we thought, hey, we need a break. We need to reclaim our,
Peace. Yeah, peace and quiet. So we came up here.
but we didn't read any reviews about a broken bridge, and it looks fine to me.
Looks fine to me. Oh gosh, it's gorgeous. Do you come up here often?
All the time.
Oh, how nice.
So, we'll be on our way now. Leave you to your peace and quiet. Bye now.
Your son, he's flying to Oxford, as in
Across the pond, as they say.
he's flying over the water. Never go over the water.
Sir, I'm sorry, sir, but it's time you explain yourself in this cryptic message of yours. It's one thing to bother us eco-tourists, but it's
Ooh, eco-tourists. Ooh, I like the sound of that, honey.
thank you, honey. It's one thing to bother us eco-tourists who I'm sure you're just miffed we're invading your territory, but it's another thing to make vague threats against our son.
Now, how did he come home to you? Did he fly over the water?
Well, of course he did. How else was he supposed to?
And you said he was like a monster.
No, that's just a figure of,
A butterfly lands on Sylvia's nose.
I mean, look.
Okay, don't move.
Chad
That-
readies his phone to take a picture.
That butterfly, it just flew this way over the lake. It just flew over the water.
Old Man Mike picks up a stick and swings at the butterfly still on Sylvia's nose. Chad takes a picture just as Sylvia screams.
Whoa, hey, get off her.
There's a scuffle. The butterfly flies away.
I almost had it. I almost had it.
You attacked me. How dare you?
Where'd you go, you bastard?
Get out of here. Get out of here, old man, or I'll call the police.
Old Man Mike chases the butterfly.
I'll get you.
Chad, Sylvia, honey, are you okay?
I'll be okay. I'm just a little shaken, but I think you should call the police anyway.
The lights slowly fade to black and then slowly fade back up, but it is now clearly nighttime. A tent has been set up on the spot. Sylvia tries to warm herself. Chad is talking with a park ranger.
We'll be on the lookout, sir, but I must warn you, even if we find him, these are the kinds of cases that dissolve into he said, she said. Nobody wins.
Oh, wait, I got a picture of him while he was attacking my wife. I'll show you. Then you'll see what he looks like. Plus, that's proof, right? Here it is.
They all huddle around the phone. The phone begins to emanate a glowing chartreuse color. Chad and Sylvia are awed, not sure what they are looking at. The park ranger immediately gets on her CB radio.
Calling all units, code chartreuse, confirmed sighting up by Hidden Lake Trailhead.
Was that the...
Butterfly?
Folks, I suggest you pack up and head home ASAP.
What is this? What are we looking at here?
It's said to be invisible to the naked eye, but legend has it, those who go over the water.
They all look out over the lake.
Honey, give me your phone.
Here, what is it?
Your photos. Show me your photos from this past week of our son.
She scrolls through the photos. The screen glows bright chartreuse yet again.
Is that our baby?
We have an undergrad at Oxford.
Another park ranger enters from the direction of the bridge over the lake, carrying a lasagna.
Howdy, folks. Stick around if you like. It's going to be a long night.
Sylvia and Chad slowly raise their phone camera up toward the new park ranger to take a picture, and it glows chartreuse. The end.
That's great.
That was awesome.
Thanks for the read, you guys.
That
was
was
cool.
so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
All right, my friends, we have one more play to read. Before we read our final play, let me make two brief announcements. First of all, our next Writer Way is on May 20th, and I just put the link to register in the chat. So go ahead, you can click on it right now, and register and come back to Right Away on May 20th. Also, after our next play, our formal show will be over, but as you know, anyone who wishes to stick around, we're going to have about a 10-minute talk back in which we'll get to chat with the writers and offer some feedback or praise or ask them any questions about their writing process. And we still have 2 readings from the jam that I'm hoping our jammers will stick around and read for us. So please stick around afterwards for our talk back. And now our final performance of the evening. Take it away, Laura Livingston.
All right, then. My 2 suggestions were a character who is a clown and a character who is a commandant, which accidentally, I have to admit, just kind of turned into a commanding officer. But we'll see. We'll see. So Jeff and Clara are reading this. A clown sits at a table behind a makeshift stage in a jungle, applying makeup. There is the sound of artillery fire in the background, just off stage. There is the sound of a restive crowd of young men. The clown is a bit unnerved.
Shit. Well, that was close. Closer than usual. Oh, the horrors of war. Oh, but what are the horrors of war compared to the howling of bored men stuck in the jungle under enemy fire? Who's been told there's going to be a show tonight?
So, you are the starlet the USO has sent to entertain the men.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm Bimbo.
I see. Not what I expected when I was asked if the men would be cheered up by seeing a bimbo.
Well, Bimbo is my name when I'm in makeup, sir.
I see.
That's my character name.
I see.
The only one I answer to when I'm in makeup to stay true to my character.
What's your real name?
Oh, we've been so busy with our undergraduate. My class, I mean, at USO training. We were so busy with our undergraduate work, not that it was real college, but we called ourselves undergraduates. That's when we were called to the front earlier than expected. I don't know if I can say my real name while in makeup.
I asked you a question, clown. I expect an answer.
Gertrude.
There, was that so hard?
No, sir.
What's going to be hard, Gertrude? What's going to be very, very hard is your audience.
I hope you don't mean exactly.
These men have been fighting for their country. They have been in the jungle for a very, very long time. They're expecting a show with a bimbo.
Oh, well, yes, now that's what they'll get. Me, Bimbo the Clown.
They're going to be very, very disappointed.
I'm pretty funny.
A butterfly lands on the commandant's nose.
Damn, jungle bugs.
Oh, sir, oh, be careful. You'll kill it.
Finally, the butterfly flies onto the clown's makeup table.
Damn, jungle bugs.
If I may say so, sir, you have a natural gift for physical comedy.
Damn it, Gertrude, this is war. This is no time for slapstick. This is no time for amusing mime or hilarious pratfalls. Sight gags are no damn good to us here. The men need to fight, and they need lust. Anything else is of no importance. Then whether that butterfly is Kelly Green or Chartreuse.
I disagree, sir.
You can't disagree with me. I'm the commanding officer.
No, comedy will ease their fears, lighten their hearts. And the butterfly is Chartreuse. Look, the Kelly Green ones don't eat lasagna.
She brings out a piece of lasagna from under the table, and the butterfly flies to it.
When I volunteered for the USO, I knew what men would expect from a woman who dared to stand on a stage in front of them in the jungle during a war. I hadn't thought about what the name Bimbo would make them expect. I guess I should have anticipated that. But, well, anyway, I'm going out there. I mean, sure, I'm scared. I'm as afraid of that audience as I am of the artillery fire that. Wow, doesn't it sound like it's getting pretty close? But I'm going out there and I'm going to show them that women can be funny, and they're going to laugh at me, and they're going to be comforted and inspired by the experience.
She exits toward the stage.
That is the bravest clown I've ever met.
He picks up the butterfly.
You are really beautiful.
The end.
Oh my goodness, that was awesome. That was so funny.
Brilliant.
All right, my friends. Thank you, playwrights. You were awesome. Thank you, audience. You were awesome. If you need to head off and do that important thing, the formal part of our show is done. But if you could stick around, please do, because we're going to have our awesome talk back. Thank you for coming to Right Away. We'll see you next time. All right, we are done. We are done. If you are here and you're sticking around for our talk back, please come on screen. That was awesome. Those plays were just very funny. I was laughing so loud, and
Especially
I thought
Jeff's.
that was amazing. Yeah.
Jeff's was hilarious.
Thanks. Thank you.
That last character you were reading, that army guy, it seemed like a character right out of an episode of MASH, like one of those priggish like commanders who come and tour the site or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was pulling from. I have a lot of commandant experience, so I was basically pulling from episodes of MASH.
Well, awesome. Thank you. Okay, here we are at our talk back. I do want to spend some time on the writers and give them the praise that they are due. I thought those plays were beautiful. So if anybody, Alex, Ray, or Karen, or anybody else has any questions or comments that you'd like to offer the writers, we can open it up to that right now. One thing I will say is that there was such a lovely musicality to a lot of the work tonight, I thought. I don't know if there was just something in the air that brought that on, but like that first beautiful poetry that you were writing, Lisa, that was so beautiful, and the way the actors picked up on that, I thought was lovely too. Like it was like we were all kind of figuring out like, oh, this is almost like it felt like being part of a symphony almost, reading that because of the language was so musical. And then the next one was similar, except it was like long strings of melody, and then Jeff's line would be very curt, and then a long melodious line, and then Jeff's line would be very curt, and there was like a musicality to that, almost like a violin and a percussion. I just thought it was very beautiful writing and very beautifully read tonight in terms of its musicality.
Yeah. My favorite part was the I want to part. That's what it was, right, Lisa?
Yes,
I want to.
go.
Yeah.
Do you all know Under Milkwood? Do you know the play Under Milkwood? That's what it reminded me. I forget, was that Bob Dylan who wrote that or no?
It's
Dylan Thomas.
Dylan Thomas. There's a play called Under Milkwood, and the language, I don't know, I was reminded very heavily of it with your writing, Lisa, tonight. What else? Other questions or comments or anything from the writers about the particular suggestions or the mood of the evening?
Always amazed at the inventiveness of the writers and the skill of the readers.
Yeah.
All of them. Though I have to say, the first one by Lisa with the rhyming was, how do you do that? Wow.
Yeah.
If the writers have had their moment, I would love an opportunity for Karen and Alex to read what they wrote. We had a pretty fun jam, and we were inspired by the soap opera genre or so. And for the final writing exercise, what we did was we started 3 different stories, an A story, a B story, and a C story, and then we kept switching back and forth between them. So I would say like, okay, stop writing that and start and continue story B, and then stop writing that and continue story A, and we pop back and forth. And it was kind of fun. So each story started with a different line that I gave that they all had in common. Alex and Karen, would you be willing to share your? Yeah, I hope so.
Sure. Yes.
I gave you all the warning I could that this was going to happen.
Oh, wait.
So
I'm frozen.
So Karen, how about if you go? Ray and Janella read theirs in the jam, and they were wonderful and brilliant. So anyway, the story A started with she held the drink in her shaking hands. Story B started with they heard the dogs barking deep in the forest. And story C started with Ellen never intended to study the law. So you'll hear those sentences. Some people wrote 3 separate stories. Some people mixed and mingled the scenes. So I'm not sure what we're going to get this time. But Karen, if you don't mind, go ahead and take it away for us.
Let's see if I can read my handwriting. We'll give it
All
a
right.
shot. So she held the drink in her shaking hands. Nora could smell the intoxicating perfume of the brandy. There were beads of moisture on the outside of the glass, just like the beads of sweat on Nora's brow. The ice cubes in the glass rattled together and startled her with how loud they sounded in the empty, silent house. Just a few minutes ago, the house had been noisy and filled with angry voices. They heard the dogs barking from deep in the woods. Danny held Molly's hand tighter and tighter as they ran. Though it was 2 a.m. in the morning, due to the full moon, their path was clearly marked. Ellen had never intended to study law. She applied to law school on a dare. One drunken night at the local bar with her college friends, Ellen could never say no to a dare. She was always the first one of her friends to jump out of a plane, get a tattoo, or get divorced. Molly stumbled, but Danny held her up enough to keep running. If they could only make it to the Lantry Bridge, Danny had a car waiting for them. Just as they got to the top of the hill, a flashlight was shown in their faces. The house was quiet. Nora's last words to Phil and the echoes of the pistol blast remained in the air. Day one of law school, Ellen could tell the snooty professor and the students looked down on her. Phil lay on the floor in a pool of his own blood. Danny and Molly stood with fear as the sheriff ordered them to stop. Ellen sat in the front row of the classroom and waited for torts class to start.
Awesome job. That was excellent. That was just excellent. All right. Alex Rowe, could you?
Well, you say this is something to hear, so I'll read it. I like the premise that we did this. Sort of Ken did this to us. She held the glass in her shaking hand. She'd heard of auto accidents, of course. They were often featured in the local news, generally on a third page or further buried among the trivia of those less fortunate or the aspirations of those more fortunate. But never had they seemed real. This was real. All too real. The horn had only just stopped blaring, and the grackles chased from the hedge were now to be heard screeching in the beech tree. She had to think of what to do before taking herself to the back porch and opening the door to see what had transpired. They heard the dogs barking from deep in the woods. No one would be close to them now, for at least 10 minutes. But that was only a reason to collect one's wits and pick up the pace. There was a real chance of reaching the border now. How queer it is that the less time, less chance, the certainty of capture really would have come as a relief. Ellen had never intended to study the law, but the law had surely spent plenty of time studying her. This is the world she was born into, or something like that, her mother said. A woman is suspect before she's a woman. Doesn't matter the color of her skin, the size of her dress, the loudness of her voice. A woman is always a suspect, said her mother. Slowly, the door opened. She must have opened it herself. She stepped outside. The auto was unbelievably upside down. Was this a real thought? Their feet were moving, their hands grasping for one another's as they stumbled over the rocks and branches that bordered the ravine. Well, the law had had its chance, and she was looking at 10 years minimum. She'd never intended to study anything, but now the law was going to get her undivided attention. She looked at her hand, which still held the glass. She poured it out entirely. Not the day for this, she said, and turned back into the house. She plunged in. Don't, his thought screamed. If she got her feet wet, but too late. She was sucked under, and he scrambled across with only the border to think of now. Tort. What a stupid word. It sounded rude in some way. But she had plenty of time to get over that.
Oh,
It all makes sense now that you read it out loud.
That was awesome. That was awesome. My goodness, I have to tell you, I am so honored and happy to have so many kind, generous, and talented friends to spend time with like this. You are an awesome group of people. All right, my friends, it's coming up on the bottom of the hour. I say that we all go and have either a dinner or a drink, depending on what coast you're on, or both if you happen to be in California. I hope we'll see you all next month at Right Away. Any last licks before we sign off?
Just that was so great. The writing was so great. I love the first one to be divorced. That was a cool touch. Anyway, it was really great.
We remind me who got the child, in fact, going to Oxford?
Oh, I do.
Jeff
Yes.
Jarrison.
You do.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice to see it written into a play.
It'll be on Law and Order next.
That's right.
We have two of our 8 grandchildren. One of those two just turned what, 9? No,
Which
6.
Oh,
Six.
6.
6 years
That's
old.
Alex, yeah.
The
And
littlest, yeah.
now go
second.
give him
His
some presents.
birthday,
We
give him
missed
some birthday
his birthday
presents.
was actually 2 days ago.
He's an undergraduate.
He's an undergrad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undergraduate, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Graduated from kindergarten yet, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
Soon.
Well, congratulations
Yeah.
and happy birthday.
I have a story
Yes,
to
Laura Livingston.
I will attempt to tell this story quickly. But back when Ken and Clara and Jeff were working with Freestyle Rep, we didn't have the internet or computers or anything like that. But we used to get quite a bit of press coverage. And Peter Felicia, I think, wrote about us in Theater Week one time. He called Carla Rodriguez in the piece. And we would photocopy these and send them to like people that we wanted to work, that we wanted to hire us and stuff like this, or to other press venues and stuff like that. And I photocopied that article. I cut out the L and the A, and I used tweezers and I transposed them. Really important to get someone's name right in print. So I was reminded of that tonight by just.
That is awesome.
Oh, that's great.
More about the Rodriguez. So.
No.
I know, the Rodriguez. We're long lost relatives, basically.
Cousins, clearly.
And Dad, your brother went to Oxford, didn't he? For a little while. I don't know how long. I have no idea. For some postgraduate situation.
Well, so he got his doctorate there, and so he
Wow.
was up there at the Institute of Indian Studies or something like that.
Indian
Yeah.
religious studies.
So
Wow.
there you go.
He's
Sure.